What would you do if the sound of gunfire replaced your morning alarm, if your home turned into a battlefield overnight and escape became your only chance to survive? In Sudan's Kordofan region, thousands of civilians are facing exactly that nightmare right now, and the world is barely paying attention. Stay with us, because what is happening here is more urgent than you think. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are discussing a deeply troubling and urgent humanitarian crisis unfolding in Sudan. As the conflict continues to spread, civilians in the Kordofan region are being forced into terrifying escapes as armed violence advances closer to their homes. According to warnings from the International Organization for Migration, the situation is rapidly deteriorating and the human cost is rising every single day. Kordofan, once known for its agricultural communities and tightly connected families, has become a region marked by fear, uncertainty, and displacement. Civilians are not fighters. They are mothers, children, elderly people, and workers who never expected to be caught in the middle of a brutal conflict. Yet today, they are fleeing with nothing but the clothes they are wearing. What makes this crisis particularly alarming is the speed at which people are being forced to move. Entire villages are emptying within hours, families are separated in the chaos, children are losing parents, and parents are risking their lives to protect their children. Roads that once connected communities are now escape routes filled with desperation. This is not just a military story. It is a human story. It is about survival, fear, and resilience under unimaginable pressure. In this video, we will break down what is happening in Kordofan, why civilians are suffering the most, and what warnings humanitarian organizations are issuing to the world. The Kordofan region holds strategic and symbolic importance within Sudan, but for the people living there, it is simply home. As violence expands, that sense of home is being shattered. Reports indicate that armed groups are moving into new areas, creating waves of panic among civilians who have already endured years of instability. When armed conflict reaches civilian zones, everyday life collapses instantly, markets close, schools shut down, medical centers stop functioning. People no longer think about tomorrow. They focus only on surviving the next few hours. This is exactly what many families in Kordofan are facing right now. The International Organization for Migration has warned that displacement is accelerating at an alarming rate. Many civilians are fleeing without access to safe transportation, food, clean water, or shelter. Some walk for days under extreme heat. Others hide in remote areas, hoping violence will pass, but often it does not. Fear spreads faster than gunfire. When one family escapes, others follow, even if they do not know where they are going. This chain reaction turns entire towns into ghost settlements almost overnight. What remains are abandoned homes, destroyed infrastructure, and unanswered questions. This level of displacement does not only affect those who flee. It destabilizes surrounding regions, overwhelms humanitarian resources, and creates long-term trauma that lasts long after the fighting ends. For civilians, escape is not a single moment. It is a terrifying journey filled with constant danger. Many families must decide in seconds whether to stay or run. Leaving too early risks losing everything. Leaving too late risks losing their lives. Eyewitness accounts describe civilians hiding in fields, forests, and unfinished buildings. Parents carry children for miles. Elderly people struggle to keep up, often relying on strangers for help. There is no clear destination, only the instinct to move away from violence. Humanitarian organizations report that women and children make up a large percentage of those displaced. This creates additional risks, including exploitation, health emergencies, and psychological trauma. Children exposed to such violence often suffer long-term emotional damage that affects their development and future. The lack of safe corridors makes escape even more dangerous. Roads are unpredictable, checkpoints shift. Communication networks fail. Many people do not know where fighting is happening until it is too close. What is most heartbreaking is that civilians are not escaping toward safety. They are escaping away from danger, hoping safety exists somewhere ahead. This uncertainty adds another layer of suffering to an already devastating situation. The warning issued by the International Organization for Migration is not routine, it is urgent. IOM has emphasized that the scale and speed of displacement in Kordofan could overwhelm existing humanitarian capacity if immediate action is not taken. Displaced families need shelter, food, medical assistance, and protection, yet access to these essentials is becoming increasingly limited. Aid workers face security challenges, supply routes are disrupted, funding shortages make response efforts even harder. Without adequate support, displacement turns into a humanitarian disaster. Diseases spread quickly in overcrowded conditions. Malnutrition rises, children miss months or even years of education, entire generations risk being defined by displacement rather than opportunity. IOM warning is also a message to the international community. Ignoring this crisis will not make it disappear. Delayed response always results in higher human cost. Prevention, protection, and support are needed now, not later. The situation in Kordofan is a reminder that civilians pay the highest price in modern conflicts. They are not responsible for political power struggles, yet they bear the consequences every day. Conflict does not end when the shooting stops. It follows people wherever they go. For displaced civilians, the trauma of escape continues long after they leave their homes. Many struggle with fear, grief, and loss. Children who witness violence often replay it in their minds. Nightmares become common, silence replaces laughter. Parents, despite their own fear, try to appear strong even when they feel broken inside. Communities that once supported each other are scattered. Cultural traditions are disrupted. Livelihoods vanish. Farmers cannot return to their land, workers lose jobs, dependency replaces independence. This emotional toll is invisible but devastating. Healing requires stability, safety, and time, things that displaced civilians rarely have. Without mental health support, trauma becomes a silent crisis alongside physical displacement. Understanding this human impact is essential. Numbers alone cannot capture what is being lost. Each displaced person carries a story of fear, courage, and survival that deserves recognition. Regional instability increases as displacement grows. Neighboring areas struggle to absorb new arrivals. Resources stretch thin. Tensions can rise between host communities and displaced populations, even when empathy exists. Sudan's crisis is not isolated. It affects regional security, migration patterns, and humanitarian systems beyond its borders. This is why international attention matters. Early response can reduce long-term consequences. Safe shelters, medical aid, and protection services can save lives and preserve dignity. When support arrives late, recovery becomes far more difficult. The people of Kordofan do not want sympathy, they want safety. They want to return home. They want peace. Until that is possible, they need protection and support. Media coverage plays a critical role in crises like this. When stories are ignored, suffering continues in silence. Awareness creates pressure, pressure creates action. By understanding what is happening in Kordofan, viewers become witnesses. Witnesses can demand accountability, humanitarian access, and global engagement. Silence benefits violence. Attention can save lives. History shows that civilian displacement leaves scars that last decades. Children grow up without stable education. Families remain separated. Communities struggle to rebuild trust, but history also shows resilience. With support, displaced people rebuild their lives. They contribute, innovate, and recover. The difference lies in response. What happens next in Kordofan depends on action taken today. This crisis is a test of global responsibility. Warnings have been issued. Evidence is clear. The question is whether the world will respond in time. Civilians cannot wait. Every delay costs lives, dignity, and future potential. Sudanese civilians in Kordofan are not asking for attention. They are asking for survival. Their terrifying escapes are a warning to all of us. Conflict anywhere threatens humanity everywhere. If this story moved you, don't stay silent. Like this video to spread awareness. Share it so others know what is happening. Subscribe to the channel for more in-depth coverage on global humanitarian crises. Your attention matters because silence helps no one.